In this video, we're going to talk about how to copy as well as how to move plans and components. And there are a few reasons why you'd want to do this, starting with why you'd want to copy a plan. You'd want to copy a plan if you are trying to edit a plan or component that you only have viewer access to. So if it's a plan that's been shared with you but you can't edit it, you're going to need to copy it into your repo. Second, if you are not the owner of a plan and you want to fly it, you're going to have to copy it into your repo as well, unless you're part of a team's plan. And third, if you really want to have two separate versions of a similar plan or component, maybe you have two plans that are close, but they're slightly different, or two components that are slightly different, then you may want to create an original plan, then copy it, then modify the second plan. Now, as a side note, if you're testing plans, you should probably use the versions capability, and that's discussed in the mission planning and execution part of this training. Now, as to why you'd want to move a plan, it's primarily because you're trying to organize your plans within different repos. So if you started with one repo and now you've grown, now you've got a bunch of plans and you want to move a plan from one repo to another, this is where you'd use the moving functionality. Please note that you can only move plans, not components. If you really do want to move a component, what you need to do is to copy that component to the other repo and then delete it from the old location. And that's done because components are typically tied to plans, and if you delete a component that is linked to a plan, it could cause issues for you. One other comment for those that were using Dronelink in the past, there used to be a functionality called forking. Copying and moving has replaced that functionality. We felt that was a better name for what we were trying to do. So forking is gone, copying and moving has replaced it. So let's show you how this works. So as an example, I am back in my test account and I clicked on that link to share a plan in read-only mode. So again, it's telling me I'm viewing a shared plan. If I want to make changes, I have to copy the plan. So I cannot edit this plan anyway right now. So what I will do is I will click this ellipse here, and there's a copy option. If I click on copy, it's going to ask me which repo to copy it to, or if I want to create a new repository, I'm going to copy it into my public repo, and that's it. It copied that plan into my repo. Now I can move this. This is now my plan to do whatever I want, and it's not tied to the original plan in any way. So let me give you another example on how you could use copying of plans and components, this time with components. So let's say that I am in my account and I click on Explore Public Repositories, and I'm going to scroll down to the core Dronelink repo, and you'll see in this repo there are no plans, there's only components. These are where a lot of the camera reset and drone reset commands are. But let's say we like this settings reset, but we really want to make it our own. So if I go into this component and then I click on this ellipse and I say copy, I can take this settings reset and again copy it into my repo. Copied settings reset into test user test repo, public, dismiss. So now if I go back into my test repo public, I'll see this component, this settings reset, that I can go in and change however I want. So let me say instead of the drone max altitude of 400 feet, I want to set the drone max altitude to 350 feet. Now, quick comment on this, realize that if you've copied this component over into your own repo, if any changes are made to the main repo, you will not see those changes reflected in your future plans. Now let's quickly talk about how to move a plan, although it's relatively straightforward. So right now, this house flyby demo for Path Video is sitting in my public repo. Let's say that I want to move it to my private repo. The way I'll do this is I'll click here, click this, and you'll see now that there's a move command. The move command is only available for plans that I own. It's not available for components, and it's not available for plans that you don't own or if you're not a part of a team. So I'm going to click on move. Again, it's going to ask me where I want to move it to. Let's move it to the private repo. And that's it. It's moved the house flyby from the public repo that I had to that private repo.